Continual Growth Podcast, where every week we bring you tips and tricks on how to kill every day and own your fucking life. I'm Bowanka. It's episode 54, and I'm with. Yo, let me run this back.
Run it back.
Run it back. I don't know.
We don't have to stop anything though, right?
No. Is this run it?
Yeah.
Us. No music? Don't worry, no music this time. Yo, we're gonna run this right from the top. No intro from Jack, but we good still. Alright. What up? What up? Welcome to the Continual Growth Podcast, where every week we bring you tips and tricks on how to kill every day and own your fucking life. I'm Bowanka. I'm your host. It's episode 54, and you know we about to bring that hot fire. I'm joined by my co-host, Stir, aka Sturminator, aka Stirrific, aka Yeser, aka Happy New Stir.
Yes, I love that, man. Thank you, man. I'm excited for this episode, man. Last one of the year.
Last one of the year we're filming, on the 31st, but
Yeah.
this is coming out on the 1st. Happy New Year to all of you.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year, everybody. Wow, what a year. 2018.
Yo, 2018, it was a great year, man.
Yeah? What was it? What was one of the big highlights for you, man?
One of the
2018.
big highlights for me.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty of this episode, what would you say?
I would say one of the big highlights for me was doing the growth talks.
Ooh.
Doing the growth talks just because I always struggled with speaking. I struggled with speaking. I did a lot of work to work on my speaking, and I was able to go up there and say what it was that I wanted to say. And that was always my problem, was I was never able to say what I wanted to say.
Yeah, to communicate what you really wanted to share. Yeah, and I mean, I'm definitely a witness to you being able to do that over the year. It's been amazing. I even said it, I think, at one of our growth talks. Like, I've seen you and heard your story over and over, but each time I see it, I'm still like inspired and impressed by the way you've been able to make that transformation. So
Much respect.
that's big, man. Yeah. For me, one big highlight. Well, there's two, but one big highlight still, even though I started it late 2017 into 2018, was swimming.
Yeah.
It's still to this day because, I was a fear that I had to overcome, and I did. I learned how to swim. We went on a trip back in February to Jamaica, so I swam in the ocean. Like, that just gave me a really good feeling. It's a major highlight. The other thing too, I think, is just being part of continual growth. It's the first time I think that I've, not even that I think, it's definitely the first time that I've been a part of something as powerful as this that means this much to me. And to see it grow the way it's been growing, the people that have been a part of it, that's one highlight for me that I'll never forget about 2018.
Okay, dope. Alright, so this episode is basically, let's get ready for 2019, right? 2019 is coming, it's a new year, basically new me, whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
but this is another chance for you to restart and kind of pick up and do whatever it is that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times what happens is it's hard to stick to what we want to do, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say New Year's resolutions around this time. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for people?
It's hard because like so many people have like started a New Year's resolution. I would say probably everybody, I'd say every single person listening to this before has started a New Year's resolution. I would say almost everybody that I've ever met has started a New Year's resolution,
Absolutely.
but not stick to it. And the reason we don't stick to it is because number one, we pick the hardest thing. Right? Let me wake up earlier, or let me work out is usually like a top one. And these are two of the hardest things that take some of the most discipline.
Yeah, that's actually, that word right there is discipline, because people go from not going to the gym at all, and then, hey, January 1st, I'm going every day.
Yeah.
They get the membership, they get all the gear, you know what I'm saying? And they have zero discipline to combat that, what's gonna come. Like, you're not gonna...
And another thing too, then they go to the gym and then they're doing like the hardest program. So day two, after you do that first day, you can't walk, your arms can't move, you're like hella sore. You're like, I had a good workout, but I can't, I'm way too sore to work out tomorrow or the next day or whenever. But a lot of things if you pick something difficult like working out and you don't ever go to the gym 1 time a week, 2 times a week, and then you just jump to 5, yeah, you might be able to do that first week 5 days.
Yeah.
But are you gonna be able to do the second week? The second week's probably gonna drop to 4. The third week's gonna drop to 3. And then you're gonna be like, I can't do this, I don't believe in myself, and you give up.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that's true. A big part of like what you just said, the last thing you said, believing in yourself. I think one thing to help with that is, because like you said, in 2019, the idea for everybody is new me, new this, a restart, refresh. But I think looking back, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today too, is reflection, right? Looking back on maybe in this case the year that you had, but also things that you've done in your life that will show you that, hey, I am able to do things, that will give you the confidence to believe in yourself, to do some new things, some big things for yourself in 2019.
yeah,
So
man, confidence is a hell of a drug, man. It's a hell of a thing. Like when you have confidence, you're able to do things that you never thought you could do.
yeah.
And just like a simple exercise, like me personally, I just finished writing out I did a reflection of the whole entire year.
Okay.
We did it with lots of our clients too, like a reflection of what did you go through in January? What
Yeah.
were the ups? What were the downs? What happened in February? What were the ups? What were the downs? And when you're able to look at that and see like how you progressed and all the steps that you've taken, then you start realizing like, okay, I'm actually capable of doing stuff. Because a lot of times we look over things that we've done because we've done them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once
Yeah.
you do something, this comes back to comfort zone all the time, but like once you do something, it becomes normal to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So oftentimes we look at something and like, even like whatever your job is, right?
Yeah.
Your job, when you first did it and when you first saw someone doing it, you were like, oh man, this is hard. Like, how do they even do that? I don't understand any of this shit. But eventually you get to the point where you're like, yo, I'm really good at this. This is easy for me. You know what I mean? And then it's normal. So you have to like still look back and see how you're doing and see those things that you think are normal, but really it's like they're normal to you because you work so hard at getting good at them.
Exactly. You know, that's crazy. That I did a similar exercise, but I asked myself this question. I asked, when was the last time that I was actually proud of myself? So, in this way though, like when I say proud of myself, you know when you've accomplished something. Like for me, when I swam for the first time, I was like, you know what, I'm really proud of myself for actually doing that. But there are things that we do every day that we don't say we're proud of, because like when I make breakfast in the morning, whatever, I'm not like, hey, I'm proud of you for getting the food out and doing it. Nah. But the reason too, I think, is we don't strive to be proud of ourselves enough. Like I want to look into 2019 now and say, what are the things that I can do that I know are going to make me proud of myself? And I feel like people don't do that enough. You know what I mean? Like we're just doing all the things and not, because that's the one thing. It's always about you. It comes down to you doing things for yourself. So how can you challenge yourself? You are your best accountability partner when it comes down to it. Like as much as people are going to help you, they're going to give you the outside perspective. At the end of the day, it's what you're able to do. So strive to be proud of yourself. That's going to make you do things that aren't just going to make you feel like, oh, I do this all the time, it's regular. No. You want to do things that are going to make you feel like, wow, I'm really happy that I took the time, took this challenge, and did this. Like,
Accomplishing things, having accomplishments.
and it goes back to what you said, confidence, that drug. Once you're able to do that and you can be proud of yourself for doing this, your confidence just goes up out the roof, and then you try things that you've never tried before, and then you start actually succeeding and doing all these things and accomplishing more, and then the cycle just continues.
Yeah, you start getting out of your comfort zone more, and then you start growing your comfort zone, and then that's when you get to the point where you feel like life is limitless. You can do anything.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's kind of jump into what can people do, because I know everybody's got like, they have a New Year's resolution, or everybody wants to make a change come January 1st. So let's kind of jump into that and figure out how we can help.
Okay, so one thing I think going into the new year that people need to be ready for is 3 things. So I'm going to talk about our values a little bit here to get people into the kind of the mindset, the mind frame of what kind of tools to take into the new year. So setting the bar low, we always say it, that's the easiest thing, because you want to be able to be consistent with what you're doing. Like I remember, I'm going to go back to a story that for myself. One New Year's, I said, okay, I'm going to be the most consistent. That was it. That's all I said. Like I'm going to be the most consistent this year, but it wasn't definitive. Like it wasn't as defined. Like what does that even mean? So what I would say for people to keep that mindset is, yes, keep the mindset of consistency, but have something that you're going to do. Like actually, like an action that you're going to do on a regular basis. So when I said that I was going to be consistent, it like nothing happened. I remember like waiting 6 months, and at this time I was doing a little bit of writing, and I wrote, and my recap was, what the heck? I haven't really been consistent because like I never even chose one thing.
Okay. So if you were your coach back then, what would you say to your coach when they said, okay, I want to be consistent?
I would say like break it down, be more specific. Like what are you gonna do that's gonna hold you to that? Like what is gonna show that you are being consistent all the time? So maybe it's I don't know, deciding that once a week you're gonna, if it's like consistency for me at that time, it was more like working out and being fit and stuff like that. So if it's like that, maybe choose, okay, 2 days out of the week I'm gonna do this, or just once. Like pick something that you can hold yourself to. And that's one thing that a lot of people go into. Basically, at the end of the day, have a plan, is what I'm saying. And then make it so that whatever you choose to do, whatever the steps are in this plan, are easy enough. You can make sure that you're gonna hit them so that you're consistent, and then slowly build up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's tell people like the CG workout plan of basically, if you are somebody who you've been struggling with working out, you're not consistent, you want to get consistent with it, this plan is for you, okay? So what you're gonna do, you're either gonna start with 1 day a week or 2 days a week, depending on how often you go. You know, if you're someone that never goes, start with 1 day. If you're someone that you know you've been going on and off for a while, start with 2 days, okay? So just know yourself first, self-awareness, right? So once you pick that, let's say you start with 1 day, you're a beginner, you start with 1 day a week, okay? 1 day a week for a whole month, 4 times, right? Now, once you've done that, once you've done the 4 times, like in a row, so if you miss 1 week, start over again. So do 4 in a row, right? And once you're able to do that, you're gonna accomplish it, you're gonna start feeling more confident. Like we told you, confidence is a hell of a drug. So now you're gonna believe in yourself more that you're gonna be able to do 2 days a week, right?
Exactly.
So this is not a rush, like don't forget, like this is for the rest of your life, or just think about like the rest of the year, okay? So now you get to the second month. The second month, you're gonna do 2 times a week, okay? So you do that for the same, this one should be a little bit longer. So 2 times, try to get 6 weeks in a row, 5 or 6 weeks in a row, okay? Now if you can do that, now you move to 3 times a week. And that should be like, that should be 2 months.
Okay.
Try to get 2 months where you can do 3 times a week. Then from there, you move to 4 times a week, and then you try to stay consistent with that for 3 months, and now you're at the point where you're someone who works out, you're ready to move to 4 times a week, you know how to get back into the swing of things if you fall off again. But really at the end of the day, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to almost everything, consistency is the key. If you can consistently go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, you're gonna be in a lot better shape than if you go 4 times 1 week in the beginning, 3 times the next week, and then you fall off and don't do anything the rest of the year.
Yeah. So okay, that's consistency. The other thing going into any kind of new start, especially in this case we're talking about the new year, is you touched on it, self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? That's a question I feel like people really need to ask themselves. Like, how well do I know myself? So, and a lot of what's attached to that are the conscious things that we do and the unconscious things. So we talk about habits all the time, continual growth, right? Live your best life through better habits. So now, what would you say, like for people, like how should their thinking be in terms of habits going into the new year?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to stay on fitness for this one.
Okay.
So self-awareness, right? Ask yourself, like, have I ever made working out a New Year's resolution before?
Okay, that's the first step.
Okay, and if you have, and it probably didn't work, right? If you're trying to work at it, then you have to know like the plan I had last time, it didn't work. So maybe I need to try a new plan.
Right.
Okay? So I would just say like really understand, like ask yourself like what happened on the last one? Should I change it? Do I have to start it 5 days a week?
Yeah.
Can I just start it 1 day a week? I know you don't feel like, you don't get that feeling of like when you go 5 days a week, but you have to know that you're working towards going 5 days a week.
I think that part of it is in most people, at least I know for myself when I was challenged by that, it's an ego thing. Like you think, if I'm gonna go to the gym, or yeah, if I decide that I'm gonna start going to the gym, it's gotta be more than a couple times a week. Like how would I just go one? That's lame. Like who does that?
Yeah.
Is that even gonna work? So yeah, you're right. It's about knowing you yourself, like what you're able to do, but also being educated about what you're trying to do for yourself. Like yeah, if you haven't gone to the gym in a year or more than that, you're not gonna go hard right away. Like go ahead, you know this from personal training that that is not the recipe for success.
No, it's a
So-
recipe for failure.
Exactly. So yeah, so definitely with that self-awareness is really just know where you are now. Like know all the good habits, the bad habits, all the things that push your emotional buttons, all that stuff. Understand that first. That's gonna help you do whatever you need to do in the new year a lot easier and just with more full awareness of who you are.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so next, let's stay where we are kind of with self-awareness, but a lot of times people want to read, right? Reading something like, I don't know, I wanted to read, but I just never thought I had that skill.
yeah.
But let's say you buy a book. Someone goes and buy a book, you know, you're feeling pumped up, same way you're going to be feeling pumped up when you want to start going to the gym. You got that book, you read, you know, you read the first chapter, let's say it takes 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay.
The next day when you go back to read, you're gonna think, yo, it's gonna take me 45 minutes. I don't have 45 minutes today. Now I'm gonna do it tomorrow. The next day you're gonna say, oh, I don't have 45 minutes again. Let me do it tomorrow. And then you're just gonna keep putting it off and you keep moving yourself away from it as opposed to, hey, just realize like you don't normally read 45 minutes. Why don't you just start with, hey, let me read for 10 minutes 3 times this week.
Yeah.
And you do that and you start building that confidence, right?
Yeah.
And then you can move to, let me read 4 times for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And you slowly move up the same way that you do it with working out, you do the same thing with reading. And this works with any single habit that you're trying to build. But the thing is, you just have to start small. Start small and focus on it.
Yeah, I think again, like this example that you just shared is definitely stays into the self-awareness thing. It's the same thing too. It's about just understanding like we're all running our own race. So keep your own pace at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like be aware that you are somewhere here now that the next person that you're comparing yourself with is that you can't. There's no point. And then the other problem with today is like social media, obviously, that it adds to that layer of distraction because we go on social media, we see all these people who are doing great, they're showing all their highlights, and then you're like, damn, I must be miserable if all these people are doing this already, you know? So avoid that. That's like a side note to when you're getting into this, practicing your self-awareness and being aware of yourself. Avoid comparing yourself to others. This is about you, it really is, and that's what's gonna help you.
Sick. Okay, so let's get into the last one. One of my favorite ones. You always gotta keep it real.
Yep.
So I think that ties in a lot with the self-awareness, like know what you did.
Mhm.
And if you're not doing what you say you're gonna do, don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep it real with yourself because if you lie to yourself, if you say like, I didn't go to the gym because I was sore and you just give yourself a whole bunch of reasons or why you couldn't wake up on time, all you're just doing is holding yourself back.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say like, I'm not saying beat yourself up about something,
Mhm.
but if you can keep it real with yourself and say like, yo, I wanted to wake up early, I didn't wake up, this is not okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do better.
Yeah. So you have to, I don't like using this word really, but you really have to hate something and not tolerate it. You know what I mean? Like hate the fact that you said you were gonna wake up and you didn't.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
So don't tolerate that and say to yourself, like you said, you know what? Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna fix up and get this ball rolling again.
Yeah.
Instead of just letting it, happen. And so to continue on that, or did you have more to talk about on keeping it real?
I can give you a good example though.
Okay, shoot me with an example first.
One of the hardest things for me when it came to keeping it real was was admitting
Mhm.
that I didn't talk a lot or that I wasn't good at speaking. Admitting that, right? And now I've been working on my speaking for like 2 years. I've improved so much.
Why do you think that was hard to admit? Were you worried about other people's thoughts, about failing,
it was-
about struggle? Like, what was it that made you like?
I think I was in denial. I was denying it. You know what I mean? You're quiet, whatever. I'm
That's
chill.
who you are.
I'm chill. Yeah. But it was really like a lot of times I wasn't able to say what I wanted to say, or the words just wouldn't come to me. You know what I mean? So it was hard for me to like, and I remember like people would say, "You're quiet guy, you're quiet, right?"
Yeah.
And then I remember I met someone new and they said you're quiet, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, then I just had to really like look at myself and ask myself like, yo, how come I don't talk? What's the problem? You know what I mean? I've talked about this in other episodes, so you can go back and listen to more about it. But that was the hardest thing for me to really be like, this is not something, I'm not doing what I think I'm doing.
Yeah. So another thing, staying with keeping it real, it's also one of my favorite too, because it's the hardest like to actually deal with. This is the one that really shows like it's you versus you. You know, and I said it before, you are your own best accountability partner at the end of the day. So I wrote something down that I wanted to share. It's basically, it goes back to kind of what I was saying, like striving to be proud of yourself and making a decision for yourself. So we talk about, especially with our clients, the letter to myself, which is essentially just a letter. It's a decision that you make. You talk about the things that you want to do, why you want to do them, to improve your life, to live your best version of your life. I think that's a tool that's so important for each person when it comes to keeping it real, because it shows everything that you said that you want to do for yourself, no matter what, right? It has that discipline aspect to it. It has that vision of yourself. It's really about you.
Yeah.
So start to make that decision of like the person that you want to be. For example, for me, I want to become the best version of myself, right? That is one thing that I feel like if there's anything I can do in this world to bring value, and I say world generally, but just in my own life, with my family, my closest friends, is to be the best version of myself so I can offer the best of myself. And then the second thing would be to help others. And you do that by connecting with other people, like, you know, whether it's friends or family, strangers, whatever, you're connecting with people that are like-minded, that could help you in whatever journey you have, and then also serve people. So we're all on this planet to work. Like, we have to work. We have to work because the reason why I say this is like when I think about life in general, and this is getting like on a different kind of topic, but we're talking about life in general, everything has a purpose. Every single thing, like from animals, plants, whatever is living, it has a purpose. So we're here and we've been offered the gift of life already. So work for that. Work for life. Don't work for, you know, this person or that person. Obviously, you're working on yourself to work for life so that you can give back what we've been given, which is life.
Hey.
You know, so that's some poetry for you guys right there.
Okay, we're getting close to the end of the episode. So what's one thing you would like to give the people, give the listeners going into 2019?
Let's talk to them about Grateful For.
What you're grateful for?
First, let's talk about how, so we mentioned it in the last episode. Grateful For is going to be the campaign surrounding gratitude, practice of gratitude. It's #GratefulFor. We'll share it on our social media to start out the year. But basically, we want everybody to join us in practicing gratitude to start the year as a new habit to kick it off. So Grateful For, and then, you know, we're going to be posting it on our social media every day. One thing that we're grateful for. Follow us at Continual Growth on Instagram to figure out what the hashtag is and what we're doing with that. But yeah, pick something that you every day that you're grateful for, and then just join us on that journey.
And if you don't have like, if you don't have a 21 or a habit or something, or a New Year's resolution, use this. And I always said, like, people always start out with things that are way too hard, right? Going to the gym, it takes 1 hour, you gotta go there, you gotta come back, you gotta do hard work, all this stuff, right? It's hard. Don't start with that.
One thing.
If you can think of one thing you're grateful for, how long does that take? I'm grateful for that money tree right there.
Hey.
You know, that took me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this aloe right here.
Yeah.
I'm all about them plants, you know? But it's like, it's very easy to find things that you're grateful for. So start with something easy and then build that confidence, get that hell of a drug, and it's gonna be a lot easier when you decide to start going to the gym or
Yeah.
whatever hard thing it is that you really want to start building into your life.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure to bring that up. We will have a post on it on our feed, and it'll explain more details of how it works. But basically, using the hashtag grateful4, tag us, put in your stories and your posts, whatever, and then just say one thing, share one thing that you're grateful for every day to start the year, and we're gonna go for 21 days. And hopefully we'll go even longer and longer and longer.
Hell yeah.
Because gratitude,
It's a
just
good
like
habit to have.
exactly. But back to your question.
So yeah,
you're
so
asking-
what's one thing that you wanna leave the people with going into the new year?
Continue to be patient. I think I'll say that.
That's a good one.
For the reason why, for me, it's one thing I noticed about myself, about how patient I've been able to become with myself and others, and a lot of it was just taking time to breathe, man. Meditation helped me so much. It just stops you in your tracks. It allows you to not worry about things that already happened or the things that are to come and to focus on now. And then when you're in that moment, in the now, you realize sometimes all you can do is be patient. Just wait, right? And you're waiting, not saying that you're not doing any actions, you're not working, but you're just allowing things to happen now. And you're being patient with it and being, on top of that, being hopeful, meaning that you know that there's good to come. And if you really do practice that patience, being patient with yourself and being patient with others, you learn a lot about yourself. So I think taking that into 2019, whatever your year was like in 2018, whether you had all the ups or all the downs, patience really acts as that balance for you.
Hey.
So yeah, keep that patience, man.
Okay, I like that a lot.
How about you?
For me, I would say just really focus on being happy, on creating that happiness yourself instead of looking for outside sources to create that happiness. And I was looking at something the other day and it was saying you're not happy because you laugh. You laugh because you're happy. Or maybe it's the other way around.
Mhm.
But basically it was saying you need to laugh.
Yeah.
Laughing is important. As a child, you know,
medicine.
you're having so much fun and you're laughing all the time. But laugh a lot, man.
Mhm.
Just laugh a lot, have fun, enjoy life. It's only one life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just enjoy it as much as you can. And we gave enough tips throughout.
Yeah, man. I'll leave my mantra one time just because I feel like it makes sense for this episode and around this time of the year. So I want people to live, not just be alive. That's basically it. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but live. Don't just be around. Like, you're here for a reason. Go find that meaning. Go find that purpose, and be that reason.
Okay. So you know what time it is, man. 2019 is here. It's time to turn that shit up. Take your life to a whole nother level. And don't wait, right? Don't wait till the second. Try to get it in on the first. Start making those changes. Start changing your habits. Whatever it is, if you need help, if you want to start making that letter to myself, hit us up. We'll help you create that letter to myself. We'll help you create goals. We got you.
Yeah, make sure to stay consistent, self-aware, and always keep it real with yourself first and others always.
And other than that, kill every day and own your fucking life. Bless up!